Hey, and welcome to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in. And now let's jump into today's episode. Hi, welcome back to the FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast. Today, I'm joined by a guest who has spent many years helping women stay strong, active, and confident as they get older. My guest today is Heike Yates. She's a fitness coach, educator, and the founder of Pursue Your Fit. And she has actually also a new book called Spark. Pursue of Spark. If I tell Heike, let know everything, and but she helps women over 50 build strength, improve mobility, and stay independent as they age. Heike is originally from Germany, but now lives in the United States, and she has dedicated her work to helping women navigate the changes that happen in midlife, from hormones and metabolism to confidence and identity. What I really appreciate about Heike's work is that she focuses on realistic things and sustainable habits, not quick fixes, as so many, unfortunately, these days are doing. And in today's conversation, we talk about what actually changes in the body after 40 and 50 and why strength training becomes even more important and how women can stay active and confident for the decades to come. Heike, welcome to the podcast.
Turo, thank you so much for having me. This will be an exciting conversation.
Yeah, no, we have so similar audiences or people who we are helping, and actually it's so funny to know that you are actually originally from or born in Germany, which is not far where I live. I live in South Tyrol in Italy, and Heike is born in close to München. So, but could you tell a little bit about your journey and how you started working with women over 50?
You know, my journey is over 40 years, and I always say it's 35, but it's by now 40 years that I've worked in the fitness and health industry. And I came to the United States with the Foreign Service because I love to travel. And I thought, oh, what a great way to see the world. You work at an embassy and then you get transferred to all these different embassies around the world, which never happened to me because I got pregnant with my first child. I met my husband, my first husband, and I got pregnant, and I've been in the same area around Washington, D.C. for the past over 40 years. So I've never traveled for work, but I do love traveling for fun. And when I got here, you know, I started, you know, I wanted to explore and do things, but then I became a mom, and I had gained 50 pounds during my pregnancy, and I had no idea how to lose the weight or what to actually do, because growing up in Germany, and you know this from where you live, Turo, is people just exercise. They hike, they bike, they go to the grocery store, they walk a lot. It's not like it was a shock to me when I came to the United States, but everybody was getting in their car to do their errands. And it was back then really unsafe to bike because people were like, bikers, get out of the way. And as I saw how sedentary people were, and I wanted to lose the weight from the baby, I felt I didn't know what to do, because in Germany, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't do any of that stuff back then. And so I started taking what was back then called dancer size classes, which is right now you would say it's Zumba. And it was really fun. It's amazing. We had a great community of people in the class. And after a few months of taking the class, and I felt getting stronger, and they were teaching me what to do. And I also could bring my son to childcare, so I didn't have babysitting problems. They asked me to become a teacher.
Mm.
And first I said no, because I said, I will not hop around in front of all these people. I'm not a Jane Fonda. I'm not doing this. But my husband encouraged me basically to get me out of the house and have my own life besides being a mom and a wife. And it was the best thing I've ever done. And I never looked back in my career as I worked my way through my fitness journey, from teaching classes, becoming a personal trainer, sports nutrition certifications, and years back when I was basically teaching any format, guys, that you can imagine: step, slide, high, low impact, everything. I taught
Yeah.
everything, kickboxing before it even
Wow.
became the rave. And I just love to learn. And as I progressed with my career, and then finally opening my own studio, and eventually also creating Pursue Your Spark, my online brand, I I applied what I learned in my trainings and certifications on my own body. So I became a bodybuilder. And
Mm.
then I thought, oh, that would be great, be a bodybuilder. What do you need to know?
Mm.
Then I got into running, and I became an ultra marathon runner. So I ran JFK 50 milers.
Wow.
And then thought, oh, my knees are getting cranky. Let's do an Ironman triathlon. So I finished an Ironman
Wow.
triathlon. And so it's in each phase that I went through back then, I thought, oh, women want muscles. And it
Mm.
never occurred to me that maybe women don't want to look like bodybuilders. But I learned, and I saw what I applied to my own body, I could apply to my clients. And as I got older, and I will be 65 this year, over the years, my clientele changed ages with me. I was
Mm.
teaching to their bodies because I could relate. I could relate to aching knees, to not wanting to do high intensity workouts anymore, but still wanting to be fit and strong,
Mm.
to where now I'm oftentimes dealing even with younger clients, and you can probably see this in your audience too, Turo, that people have so many orthopedic needs, bad
Yeah.
knees, bad
Yeah.
shoulders, bad backs from either over exercising, old sport injuries, or just getting older. And so that's how
Yeah.
I keep moving with my audience, because
Mm.
they feel I hear and understand them.
Yeah, no, I hear your experience, and I think I can totally relate for those things you mentioned. Like, it was same for me. I have been doing this now bit over 10 years only, or I think that's already in a fitness space. It's already pretty long period, but
Yeah.
obviously you have been doing this for decades and trying everything, and it was kind of same for me. I did so many things in the beginning, and when you work with the people, you just learn to see some patterns, and like you mentioned, that people like your audience, your maybe ideal clientele is changing and evolving, like depending on your experiences, what you feel most comfortable of doing, and of course when you have done, I'm same way thinking than you. Like, I haven't tried all those things. Like you mentioned what you did. Like, I'm not that extreme. But I still love to try different things. So, you know, and to see, to try like my own workout programs. I love to try to do them myself and for different purposes, for someone who wants to improve athletic performance or just well-being, fixing imbalances in body, all the type of different programs, and then at least you have tried, and it's changing. It keeps it interesting that it's not all the time the same thing, but it's still some form of resistance training always included. Because that first in the beginning of my career, I thought that you know my background is a professional ice hockey player, and there was a time that I had to do strength training to be able to perform. And then when I retired, it was like that. No, I don't need to do it anymore. So I said, if I don't need to do it, I won't. I didn't enjoy. I still don't enjoy doing it, and I stopped doing it. And then all of a sudden, getting close to 40, you start to have back pain, body starts to hurt, you have those kind of more small injuries all the time. And that, first you think that this is aging, you're getting older. But then I realized that no, I gotta do something for my strength. And that was the best decision. Now it's 4 or 5 years ago, and I made the decision that I don't need to get bodybuilder or anything, but I need to do it for my own health. And that was literally the best decision I have made. And that is like you mentioned about all knee problems, back problems. I this is like almost every single day having a conversations with someone who have a lower back pain, knee issues, and often I still hear that there is like a very common, like, when you have a knee pain, you think that the problem is actually knees, or lower back pain, the problem is in your back, that you lifted something wrong, which obviously could be, but by far still the most common reason is that there is something like in a lifestyle, like sedentary lifestyle, or lack of mobility, those
Yeah.
kind of things, as you know for sure.
Yeah, because people think that stretching is not worth it, or creating mobility training.
Mm,
And then they come, like you said, everything hurts, and you start moving with them, and they're so stiff and so immobile. I'm like,
mm,
no wonder you guys have injuries, or you
yeah.
feel pain, because you can't move functionally,
Mhm.
which is so important.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the, were you, what was, I'm always curious to know, like, what were the biggest lessons you learned about aging and fitness from your own experience?
I feel, Turo, that when I was younger, I kept pushing hard. And all these things that I mentioned that I have been doing, I don't want to scare any of the listeners away and saying, Paul, look at her. I could never do this.
Mm.
You need to understand, guys, I am the person who you say, Heike, do you want to be a bodybuilder? And Heike will say, sure. It sounds interesting. Let's
Yeah.
let's practice this. Let's see what happens. I'm very curious about different things. Or my son at one point, he said, "Hey mom, do you want to do a Tough Mudder?" Which is an obstacle course. The one I did was in the mountains here in Pennsylvania, on a ski resort where you climb
Mm.
over high things and you jump off bridges. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I said, yeah, sure. And then I said, oh my God. So
What is
you
I
you
know?
need you need to know that, guys. This is not the average woman here that does crazy things like this. I do. But what I've learned over the years is that pushing harder is not always good. Your body is very forgiving when you're younger, and you push hard
Mm.
and you're like, I'm going to be sore for days, but I'll be fine. As you get
Mm.
older, this I'll be fine is just not working anymore. And you feel more exhausted and beaten up after a workout rather than energized and strong. So
Mm.
as we're going through life, we really have to listen to our body and say, hey, wait a minute. I need a rest day. I need a recovery period. Instead of doing heavy weights today, I do a circuit, or today is a good day to work on my mobility instead of constantly pounding,
Mm.
which I used to do when I was younger. And I just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that is kind of that mindset still, like what many women have on, and men too, like that, especially with the background of being athlete, or doing a lot of several things, that you think that it's good workout is only when you are sore after, or it need to be hard, or you have to feel it, and it changes. it changes. It's not the same as it used to be, and just to be gentle with yourself and your body, that it's not the same anymore as it
Yeah.
used to be.
But also, I want listeners to understand that it's not just that you do little bitty workouts and you don't get results.
Mm.
You do put in what you want to get out of your exercise and your
Yeah,
nutrition,
absolutely.
but you have to have an idea of what that is that's ideal for your body. So
Mm.
if you're the person who really wants to get back in shape, you have to do the work,
Mm-hmm.
but you do it strategically. And like you
Yeah.
said, planning the workouts, having everything lined up so you know progression in your work. That's
Mm-hmm.
super important. So it's not
Yeah.
just as we get older, we're just, people oftentimes, some of your listeners may know from having heard about me or not, as I teach Pilates.
Mm.
And I feel that the alignment and the strength and the mindset of Pilates translates into everything else we do, that we're
Mm.
focusing on form, that we're not just throwing the weights around. And I keep telling them, when we're doing your weight days, we're keeping the same alignment, the same focus that we do through the Pilates work to make it more beneficial for what you do. And so many of us have seen people in the gym throwing these heavy weights around and then just clunk. They go
Mm-hmm.
down because they can't control the weight. We're not like this, right, Turo?
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. Let those younger people do their bicep curls in front of the mirror and drop the heavy weights or way too heavy weights. Let them drop them down, but that's not what actually a good workout often is.
Right.
So, what is then? Because your specialty is working with older population, with people over 40 or 50, uh, and many women feel that uh, their body is changing um around that time. So, what is
Mhm.
actually happening physiologically?
You know, this is an interesting topic because when I look at midlife, I look at women and men from the age of 40 to 80.
Mm.
We have been able, because of all the medical backgrounds and all the education that we have, to live longer, live healthier, but also our bodies are breaking down. And I feel that after 80 is where there are a lot more therapeutic needs.
Mm.
So he just turned 100 last week. And he needs a completely different
Wow.
workout than I would do for me in my 60s or for somebody in their 40s. But I feel that the biggest change, especially for women, men don't experience this in the same way as when we're in perimenopause and our hormones are changing, where our testosterone and progesterones are lowered, when we're putting out more cortisol than we want to. And there's very little, or there is things we can do to change that, whether you go on HRT or not, or it depends on your symptoms. But I think as we're getting older, the biggest impact are the changes in our hormone levels
Mm.
that we need to deal with. The biggest thing I would say really is strength training,
Mm.
because strength training increases your testosterone levels, creating more muscle mass. Because as at age 35 already, we're dealing with sarcopenia, the natural loss of body mass or lean, let's say muscle mass, in that age already, because the hormones are already changing, because our
Mm.
body and metabolism is changing. So as you're going through this, I feel that looking at how you're changing over the years, seeing how your body ages, as we all age very differently as well. You age differently than I do. I maybe have more aches and pains because that's my DNA from my family back in Germany. But what we need to pay attention to is how we're aging, what we really need in each phase, and not panic. Because I
Mm.
know, and you hear it, I'm 50, I'm in menopause, I have belly fat, I need to lose this, my skin gets flabby, uh,
mm,
um, I'm not sleeping, I don't have energy. There's a lot to pack in. And even, I'm 65, I still deal with the weight fluctuations, the hormone fluctuations, the
mm,
not sleeping at night. And it keeps going on, but what we do about it is important.
mm. What, why then I still see like that you mentioned like I talk also a lot about strength training, but still I see and I'm sure you see it as well that so many women are stopping strength training when they get older. Why do you think that is happening?
You know what I think sometimes? They don't feel like it anymore. They're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of it.
Mm,
But that's one thing I think. Because it gets harder as we get older, things get heavier. But I would say that's one thing. They may have done it for a long time and just get tired of it and
mm,
need a change. Or the other thing I think might happen, or is the other category, let's say, is where they are afraid to hurt themselves. I
mm,
don't know what I do. I don't really know how to lift weights. I
mm,
have been maybe doing or not doing, right? For somebody who's totally new, they're definitely scared of what to do with these weights
mm,
or the bands.
mm,
And they need to learn what can be done, but that's another hurdle to go over. So I feel that either never exercised, I'm scared to try something new, especially something as challenging as weights, where everybody says I really get big muscles, which of course we know it's not true, which
mm,
is exact for a few very small population of women that's true, but majority it's not true, and that they hurt themselves because they're not sure what they're doing. And that's where
mm.
we come in as experts to teach them, don't be afraid. It's the best thing you will do for your body.
Yeah, yeah, and there is like what are then like the biggest misconceptions you see in strength training about in around this age group?
Yeah, I get, first off, I get hurt.
Mm,
Don't want to do it. My muscles will not grow anyways because I'm old.
mm,
Um, and I think the other thing could be the getting big again. That keeps
mm,
to be a prevalent thought throughout the years. For all these years I've been teaching to people or women keep saying, but I don't want to be big. Is this too
mm.
heavy for me?
Yeah,
And I'm like, no, you need to
yeah,
stimulate the muscle. We're not
yeah,
doing 30 repetitions to
yeah.
get some success.
Yeah, no, and this is a great I just talked. It was it this was this week with one of my client, and she said that I have a neck pain, like it hurts a little bit, and that she have asked from a friend that some friend told her that women shouldn't use heavy weights. And I was like that, oh, it depends. Of course, like then we were talking what actually have happened, and she's working out from home using pair of dumbbells, and then I asked her, are you changing weights for your exercise? And she said, no, she started with 3 kilo weights and now she's up to 5 kilo or 6 kilo, but she's using the same weights for whole workout. And I said, no, this is actually what you should be doing is that bigger muscles like your back or your legs, they are stronger. And there you probably are letting them take it relatively easy workout. But if you use the same weight for your shoulders or for your neck muscles or something, that is way too heavy. So it's
Mhm.
yes and no for me that and then when she started to understand, I said, neck pain, it's obviously it could come from form, well, it could come from work, sedentary work, lifestyle, uh, or sleep or stress. There are so many possible reasons, and obviously weights could be one reason, but it's not in top of my list. And understanding, she was like, oh, then it made kind of sense to her that wow, this is actually that. And then as that you rather but if you have let's say 30-minute time, I rather let you do like 2 exercises less or 3, but to take that time to adjust your dumbbells, because when you have adjustable dumbbells, you do 1-2 exercises less, but you adjust the weight every time, and so you get a lot more effective workout than using the same dumbbells for whole workout and getting maybe feeling a little bit sweaty or something. So those are
I
just
always say, I always say when I hear like, oh, I did 30, my client okay, one of my clients has started, I have all my women do push-ups because everybody hates push-ups.
oh yeah,
I am not good at push-ups, is what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why we need to do more. So we start at the wall doing push-ups, then we go to the kitchen counter or a bench, we go do push-ups, and depending on how they progress. And so one of my clients, I teach them in conjunction with Pilates. And I said, well, you do this, and then you in the perfect position to do a push-up. And so I said, just do little ones, be on your toes if you want to. That's totally fine. But start working on this. And the other day she said, I'm doing 30 push-ups now. And I said, huh, are they still as little as when we started a couple of months ago, where it was literally, just little bend of the arm, nothing like a real, it was a beginning of the push-up.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, but I can do 30 now. And I said, you know what? And she doesn't want to go on her knees. I said, you need to make those bigger. 30 is not doing it. I don't know what you're doing. But let's make this like into a real push-up where you're bending the arm more. So I'm curious when she comes back what the result is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. This is the push-up story. Like it's still like, especially if you work out from home, those are still one of the best exercises you can do. I don't know. I know there's maybe 2 to 3% from my experience of women who actually enjoys doing them, and 97 to 8% are hating them. So that is, if you don't enjoy doing them, it's very, very common. It's very rare actually that some women are enjoying doing push-ups, and mostly that's probably because they are hard. They are very challenging, and but still, it's one of the best upper body strength movements. And like you said, it's just about progression, doing it in a way that you are able to do, starting from a wall or even real push-ups. Like what I love to teach is just starting in a normal push-up position, first going lower in your body, going as low as you can, and because down to the wall or to the floor you get always. It's just a matter of how fast. So obviously, if it's too fast, you can't even hold your arm straight, then it might be even that's too much. But just lowering and going as low as you can, and then that push phase when you come up from I don't want to use now fitness terms, so people who are not coaches also understand. So when you are pushing yourself up from floor in that phase, if you can drop on your knees or doing so. There are so many different ways to progress this, and it's if you do them properly, it goes relatively quickly how fast you are able to progress.
And it's amazing because you see the results. It's a great upper body. It's a core workout.
Yeah.
It's an alignment because you want to have good form and not stick your butt up or arch your back. But it's such a great overall exercise. So you guys listen to us. Heike and Truro will tell you, you need to do more push-ups.
Yeah. So what is then if someone, like we talked about reasons why people are stopping to do strength training, but if someone is listening and is in her, let's say, in 50s and has never lifted weights before for some reason, where should that person get started?
Okay. It depends on your situation. When you think about you're the person who does go to the gym, likes to go to workout places like your local health club or the YMCA or community center type situation, find yourself a trainer, find yourself a qualified coach that teaches you what to do.
Mm,
If you are the person who doesn't, let's go with this. If you don't want to go to the gym, if you're like, oh my God, I do not like to do this, and but I want to get stronger.
mm,
Again, we have Zoom. Get your coach on Zoom and learn from your coach.
mm,
You may actually talk to a friend who knows what they're doing, but sometimes I find that backfires because the friend does whatever they're doing and you have no idea.
mm,
The other thing also that I find helpful is machines. So if you're not sure what to do with those dumbbells and those bands and all of this, you could go to a gym and get an introduction and work with the
mm,
machines that guide you through. You put a pin in the machine and you sit on there and then you push on it or pull,
mm,
depending. That will be an opportunity. The other thing you can do if you feel confident, get an online program. Look at a
mm,
program that on YouTube that you like and just get started. And
mm,
I've had clients that said, I was embarrassed to go anywhere because I feel so weak, which
mm,
is which is terrible. Go somewhere if you feel weak. Ask for help. But she said, I just started doing YouTube videos and I liked this one person and I started with those exercises. But now I feel I need more guidance. I need to
mm,
understand better what's going on instead of just mindlessly doing things.
mm,
And as one of my male clients, he goes to the gym and I have no idea what he does. But when I ask him what he does there, he sort of gives me like, I'm doing push-ups and he does push-ups at the speed of lightning. You've never seen
mm,
anything like this. And I'm going like, okay. And then he uses the free weights. And I say, well, what do you do with this? And he says, normally I use this weight. And I say, well, what do you do with this? And he says, I do overhead, the pushes over up in the air. And I'm like, well, yeah, what does it look like? And he shows me some kind of a version of what that is. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, who taught you that? Where does that come from? And he says, well, I used to be exercising for the military and that's just how
mm.
I learned it. So old habits also come into play. But if you're starting out, start small.
Yeah.
Start maybe with those 3 kilos because you guys are in kilos, we're in
Yeah.
pounds. Start small and learn one exercise. Don't
Mm-hmm.
be too ambitious. Don't try to do a whole body workout.
Yeah.
Do one exercise. And I always teach bicep curl as the first exercise because everybody can see what they're doing. They can learn how to control the weights and not throw them around and
Mm.
see how they feel about it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's a great way. Great way. It's basically to, especially in the beginning, it's just to get started and be not, I would say that not be scared of using some weights many, okay, if you have only some bands or even with body weight, it doesn't matter. And like you
Mhm.
mentioned, even now YouTube is full of different workout programs. It's a great way to get started. But what I see with my issue with the YouTube workouts, like as with any program in the beginning, especially if you are starting from zero, everything will work. You will see results, you will feel better once you start doing something. But the problem
Exactly.
often comes a bit later because YouTube workouts, there are very few of them that have actually some thought behind. There is some progression or some, it's often, if I think like YouTubers or people who are making content for social media, it's not that actually what the most effective strength workouts, they are not, if I would put my workouts into YouTube, I would say that, or you, I'm pretty sure you don't get nowadays there's 5 people watching it or 5 views. And soon as you start to put some weird movements which looks maybe funny, maybe you get sweaty, but they which have little to nothing to do with the progression or what people actually need. Those get a lot of views. They get more, and like, of course, people who are putting workouts into YouTube or doing those sessions there, it's not that those are the best workouts. There is some thought process. The only reason why they put them is that they get views. Maybe somebody's then buying their program or whatever, but it's not the it's not the probably the best way how I would do it. Of course,
Okay.
because there is so many like what, especially when it's a proper strength training, what things you have to include, how to plan your workouts, what exercises to do, how many repetitions, and so on. So it's strength training is um, like there's so many ways how you can do it, but that there is some kind of thought process, like how this month, how next month, how month after that is going to look like, and not just picking up some random workouts as maybe they are more interesting to do, but better results you get from a proper program.
You're making a very good point there because there's a lot of junk on YouTube. There really is. And I think when I hear you talk about it, it's I agree with when people go on YouTube and like I suggested, maybe get a workout, I think maybe they get overwhelmed. There's just too much
Mm.
stuff. And you can't sort through. And since you guys don't maybe not know what is the best, your point is really valid. I like that.
Yeah, and it's not always the searching the best, like because you can't literally know. And I think
Mm.
that it's what I don't know, my definition for great workout program is that first of all it have to be you have to like it, or somehow like strength training you might not enjoy every single exercise, but it have to be something that you are looking forward, either even if it's not the workout itself, but you love at least the results and the feeling how it makes you feel after. But and then it's because you can I did this mistake in the past. You think that there's science behind and you write the best possible workout, but then you see that if people are not doing it, it doesn't help even if you have the best workout ever. But if you hate doing it every single time and you are not looking forward into it, the best program doesn't help if it's not getting done. And so in my opinion, it have to be some kind of combination that it's enjoyable doing. There might be in a good workout, there are maybe one, two exercises that you are not looking forward doing it, but they are there, you are doing them. And usually those are the ones maybe what are helping you the most, like push-ups or that type of exercises. But it has to be something that you are looking forward. Time is
Yeah.
passing. When you do it, you feel great after, and those kind of things. And if you have some kind of issues for, let's say, shoulders or knees or back pain or whatever, that they are addressed in this program, that it's including either mobility work or exercises to fix those issues. So then when I think as a strength program, when you get stronger, you don't have as much pain as before. It gives you more energy. That's the perfect program what you can have.
And that's why people like us exist because we know,
Yeah.
we have experience. We researched, we're doing the science behind it. And as a ice hockey player, you've learned a lot about your
Yeah.
body and what it takes to be competing in that level. And
Yeah.
I think that this is a valid point when people sometimes say, "Oh, it's cost so much money." It's
Mm,
worth every dollar
mm,
because you will not get this online or a YouTube or any of that somebody really looks at you and says,
mm,
this is what we need to do with you.
mm. Yeah, no, this is it's always like it's for many people, you looked at why would I take a coach? Why would I hire a coach if I find this information also for free? But it's not it's still like a ChatGPT, all those things. They help you get all information is there, but it's not giving you, it's not too human, and it's not giving you it it might give you even good program to follow up, but then when something happens and you need that human connection, it's not there. Like if you can, like let's say for example exercises, if you are not sure how to do it, like either you get a trainer in your local gym or wherever who can look your form, how you are doing exercises, or you hire online coach like who you can send, for example, taking selfie video from yourself doing exercise, you send it to coach. Your coach is looking it after and giving you feedback, giving you tips where you can improve, what you need to do, sending you, those are things what still there is no automatic chat GPT who can do those things.
The other thing too, Turo, is that all those things you just mentioned, they don't help with the motivation that people stuck with, because they have good intentions of doing things.
Yeah.
But then when they do their check-in and I always say, have you done your homework? And then you see the eyes go, oh yeah, maybe once or twice, and you're like, okay, good, you're here today. Let's have a talk. Let's get you going. Let's do something. So we actually take action and create the momentum for you to see the results that you come to us for.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk a little bit also about mindset and identity, like because many women struggle with body image as they age. And how do you help women shift from focusing on appearance to focusing on strength and health?
Stop looking on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Be
Comparison.
inspired.
Yeah.
Comparison is like, oh,
It's
she's my
difficult.
age and she does blah, 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 and
Yeah.
I want to do that too. And you just have, one example is I'm really terrible at pull-ups. So pulling your own body weight up. When I was a bodybuilder, I was in top physical condition for that sport. And I should have had enough strength. I could not pull myself up more than 3 times. And I was lean, muscle packed. I just could not do it. Physiologically, I just couldn't do it. I still can't do them. So when you're inspired by that and you realize that you can't do that, it's okay, because we can't do the same things all the time. And when you look at somebody that is your age and you're thinking, God, look at their body. They're so lean. Oh, God. And they have all muscles and they don't have flabby skin. Well, let me tell you, oftentimes we pose. And I did this conversation with my client the other day where I showed a Pilates exercise with weights. And she says, it really resonated with me. You have rolls too. And I said, of course I have rolls. I mean, everybody has roles. I said, but look at the picture that I posted where I just pose and talk about something. You don't see a role that I have, but in our normal bodies, this is what's normal. And I think we need to normalize the conversation about our bodies. We always keep looking at it from a negative point of view and saying, oh, I'm not as strong as I used to. Oh, my arms are flabby. Oh, my whatever. We always have something that we don't like about ourselves. And this is also fueled by the fitness and the beauty industry, that we should live up to unrealistic standards that are impossible to achieve. I will never look like somebody that my age is on Instagram. Let's use Instagram. It doesn't matter what social media. And they're doing things and I'm thinking, that's a totally different body type. I would never be able to do this exercise or look that way, but I can look my best for where I am in life. Keep thinking that your body is not working against you. It's not here to punish you. Your
Mm,
body is here to serve you and help you live healthy and strong. So, what joy, and we talked about joy earlier. What joy is it? I'm a grandma of two kids,
mm,
well, my two grandkids. Uh, and the best time I have is exercising with my 4-year-old daughter, granddaughter, Lila, and we're
mm,
doing some workout together, or we're running on the beach, or whatever it is we're doing. And then I'm lifting Oliver, who's a year old, and I can lift him overhead. And
mm.
I mean, he weighs like I think 5 kilo. I don't know what he weighs, but he's heavy.
Yeah.
And so, what joy does that bring me to be able to participate in their lives? What joy does it bring me to be able to go for a long hike? What
Mm,
joy does it bring me to actually say, I'm going to go for a long bike ride? Because
mm,
I have the strength and I do not measure it by the
mm.
industry standards.
Yeah, that's so well said. Because I wanted to ask you that what aging well means to you personally, but you kind of answered that question already. No, that's and what I love it like instead of thinking and like you said that looking the way how your body is appearing when you start to focus on things your body is able to do and be actually grateful for those things. Like if you are able to, like you said, you are able to play with your grandchildren, you are able to do long hike, going for a biking and feeling amazing at the age of 65. That is what I think that is aging well. Not if you have rolls somewhere in your body which are totally normal, and that is just the way once you, and that is, I think that is the hardest part for women to actually overcome and be okay that you have roles and that you are actually, because it's often when you are like, for sure, like everyone have some kind of roles or they are not happy with their body, like that body dysmorphia, it's so common. Like I think if I would say that it's over, for sure, over 90% of people have some part of their body who that they are not happy with or they don't like or there is something. But when you start to focus on what your body is actually able to do, and if you like often I love having these conversations with my clients, like who are like, okay, it's of course somebody is seeing a lot faster progress than they thought that it's possible. Some of them, or most of them, I would say that the progress is always a lot slower than they would like it to be. But when you shift that focus on body appearance, how fast scale is moving or how fast the progress is, and you focus on like kind of performance-based goals, like if you are able to do push-up or do more or using heavier weights in your workouts, going for a longer hike or whatever, but kind of performance-based goals. And then it's kind of funny how that shifts the whole focus, and then it's kind of side effect of following those performance-based goals or strength goals, and putting that shift away takes stress away from your mind, which also is very helpful, more helpful than many people think. And then it's funny how all of a sudden you are like, oh, I was just trying to get as strong as possible for my age to be able to play with my grandchildren, and then all of a sudden that also that physical progress and appearance is there. It's coming kind of side effect and not as the main purpose, just to get dinner or losing scale weight.
But I think with that strength also comes confidence.
Oh yeah.
When you can do, when I think it's spring here in Maryland and people are already bringing those big bags of mulch out. I'm like, I'm grabbing one of these and my husband's like, no, I can carry it. I'm like, well, and please forgive me, listeners. I always say I'm not a little old lady, but that's like beyond the 80 years old. But I was like, I pick up that mulch bag that's 25 pounds. It's this heavy thing, and I can schlep it. So
Mm,
I know I'm confident that I can do this because I've done my strength training in all throughout the week. I'm like, now I can live everyday life with the tasks that we are assigned
mm,
in life. And I remember years and years ago, I went to the grocery store and we have those huge 2-gallon
mm,
milk jugs here. I mean, it's huge. I don't know how
mm,
much 2 gallon is in liters, but it's huge. And I had bought some milk and it was on the conveyor belt. And this lady stood behind me, and she was definitely in her late 80s, early 90s. She looked at me in awe and she said, "Ah, you can lift this?" And I was like, "Yes, I can." And she says, "Wow, you are so strong." And
mm,
I said, "Have you lifted this?" She's like, "No, I can't do this anymore." And let's just say, age group was definitely way up
mm,
there. But I'm like, I felt so proud that I could lift those 2 gallon. And I'm just
mm.
like, okay, now I'm taking it out of the store. The
Yeah,
confidence that comes
yeah,
with that strength is incredible.
yeah. Now those are like it reminded me similar stories, like real life examples, like some women who were going for groceries, like you said, and earlier they were together with the husband, and husband was always carrying the heavy bags, and then after doing a while strength training, they said that, oh, I don't need you anymore. I can carry them myself. And those are just the
Yes, victory.
small, or they are not small victories. They're actually huge victories. And that those are giving that confidence, what you just mentioned, that, you are strong and you can actually do several things in life. But one thing I'm curious to know, what are your best tips for someone, because when women often, how to stay motivated when especially when those results are not coming as quickly as they used to do. So what are your best tips?
That is definitely something that so many of us battle because it should be
Mm,
faster. It
mm,
used to be faster. But as we age, also, like I said, our metabolism changes and things are happening slower all throughout. And the only thing I can say to this is stick to the program.
mm,
Don't give up. Don't think because you're not progressing the way you think, which is also something. Whoever said that we should progress a certain way at a certain
mm,
time? It's again
yeah,
something I think that is made up by quick fix programs. I do
mm,
6 weeks of this program, and now I am lighter, stronger, measurable stronger, and definitely see the difference in my body, which is not happening to 99% of women. Even if
mm,
you're staying consistent, it's accumulative over time, staying consistent. And I think about it like a snowball. You create a snowball and you start rolling it. And as you keep rolling it, it gets heavier. So you have to
mm,
put a little bit more work in. And as it gets heavier, you also can tell that you're seeing more results. But that can take years. And I
mm,
want you not to get discouraged. And it has absolutely nothing to do with willpower
mm,
when things just take long, but it has to do with consistency applied over time to get
mm,
results. And take every small victory as a win. You
mm,
progress to the next pair of weights. Yay! You're picking up something easier than you have. Hurrah! You can get off the chair much easier, like doing squats.
mm,
Suddenly you just like, up, I'm up and about. Look for those small victories because we all have our own time frame in where we progress and where we change. And that's, you mentioned that earlier, that when there is no progress and you've put enough work and time in, it's time to change the program. It's time to shake things up and give the body and the brain a new challenge, and
mm,
not to give up and think, oh, it's just me.
Mm,
It's me. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to have this result. And well, my friend has it. Let's
mm.
not go there. We don't need that.
Yeah, no, that I see it exactly the same way. It's just always like especially for people who want to look leaner or lose fat, and it's that scale is not moving. It's by far the most common struggle what I have, that scale is not moving fast enough. And then, you are basically doing all the right things. You are strength training, you are taking care of food, but scale is not going as quickly as possible. And then, especially here, you might see some of your friend is doing something else, like some low carb or very low calorie diet, and or taking some drugs or whatever. And you see, then you start to compare somebody's, then they are posting it social media with this method. You lost 10 pounds, 10 kilos, whatever, in
Mm,
world record time in 2 or 3 weeks. And then you think that, oh, you have been doing this over a year and I still haven't lost. And then you think that, oh, I have to definitely change this method. What I'm doing is not working. But this is often what I say and try to say that, look, that person, we don't look, if you look now the results for the past, let's say month or 2 months, maybe that other person is winning, who is having a willpower, uh, starving herself, able to lose weight. But if you look, let's say 1 year from now, where that other person is who lost in the beginning, are they able to maintain it? Is that lifestyle enjoyable, what they are doing? Like, because many people, unfortunately, what I see, that it's all about the results. And then I will,
mm.
when because it's all about willpower, that you are able to starve yourself or do things for a short period of time, and that we all might be able to do. But then, especially if you have a little bit willpower, but then the problem comes that how to actually maintain it. And if you never practice it, if you do it, if you lose weight or get results in a way that you can't imagine to do, let's say 5 years from now, it's not matter of if, it's matter of time before all those results are back. And at least from my experience, older you get, usually more it bounce, higher weight goes back, and it's getting, every single trial is getting more like harder to get those results back again. So it's really all about finding a way, finding a method that you can imagine, which makes you feel better, gives you more confidence, more energy, maybe also some kind of results. But more importantly is that you are actually able to, or imagine to do it years from now.
And I think too that many people set too big of goals,
Mm,
that their goal is so big that it doesn't come in chunk-sized pieces, because they just see that big end goal that they want to achieve, like running a marathon
mm,
or whatever it is, instead of saying, okay, I'm starting with what I call baby steps.
mhm,
Instead of thinking I'm going to run really hard for really long and I do this marathon. So start with small steps, like start a walk, start a long walk, go from a run walk, go into a run walk, do something that challenges you a little bit more, and then see how your body adapts to it. And then from there, you see progression. And maybe in the end, you do not want to run that marathon, but that fitness that you have adapted to has increased over the time, looking for the goal, but also ultimately cutting back to smaller goals
mm.
and saying
That's
that you
very,
run a 5K instead. Let's do the 5K. Let's get that 5K under the belt and let's see how
mm,
things are going. And
yes.
then we'll go look for bigger goals. And that's also where I think the frustration comes in, that I cannot run this marathon. I should be running 26.2 miles. But I just, oh my God,
Mm,
dial it back, go back to smaller steps that
mm,
also, what you've probably encountered this. Oh, I've done this class, I've done this course, and it worked the first time. Now I'm going to do it again. Well, if it worked the first time, I don't have to repeat it. Because if the first time I take something did teach me enough that I can sustain, maintain, like you said, what about in a year, in 5 years, then I don't need to go back to repeat the steps because I already passed that point of learning. And people say, oh, now I have this goal. Now I reach this goal. Now I can just party. I don't have to do anything anymore. But it's a lifestyle. And I want people to understand that all we're talking today about is a lifestyle. It's supporting the things that you want to do that bring you joy.
That's very smart. Very, very well said. So what about, I want to end it, like time it went so quickly, and I don't want to keep you longer, but a couple practical advices still. So if someone is listening today in their 40s or 50s and want to stay strong for the next 20, 30 years, what are the 3 most important habits they should start with? What do you would say?
3 habits, I would say: eat protein with every meal. That's my religion. It's like when it comes to nutrition, don't make it complicated. Don't overcomplicate things. Have protein with every meal, which helps your muscle growth and supports your energy system. Also, you have more energy. Start definitely lifting weights in one form or another. It does not matter to me, and it shouldn't matter to you either, whether it's weights, body weight, bands, whatever it is. But you need to push something heavy. Like something needs to be pushing, because as we're pushing heavy things or pulling heavy things, we're breaking down muscle mass and we're creating growth in our muscles to maintain the muscles that we are already starting to lose through sarcopenia. And the third thing is, that's not a fitness tip. That's be happy, be positive, love life. Love the things you do, love on your family, love the activities you do. Bring joy, like Maria Kondo says, bring joy into your life, which changes everything about you.
That's a very, very good advice. And that message you can say too often. So what about then, like, with people, for somehow, like, I know, even we just talked about like that you shouldn't compare your journey to someone else, but I'm still always curious to ask, like, that how does your own weekly training routine look right now? Obviously it changes probably, but at the moment.
Let's see. Mondays, I do TRX and my physical therapy exercises because I have arthritis, severe arthritis in my neck and my lower back. And I have a really bad knee as well. So I had to stop running 3 years ago or get a full knee replacement. So I decided not to run. So Monday is my PT and TRX, those yellow straps that you hang from the ceiling or from the door, where you do basically body weight exercises with it. On Tuesday, I do upper body weights. So Tuesday is my heavy lifting upper body weights. On Wednesday, I do an hour of Pilates, whichever, like Cadillac, Reformer, or just the mat work. So if somebody doesn't know what all that is, it's just Pilates on Wednesday. On Thursday, I do a combo upper body and lower body. On Friday is my rest day. On Saturday and Sunday, we usually do our long workouts. That means on Saturday, I probably hike through the park that's close by. It's a very hilly park. So I hike my 6 miles there. Pretty much. And then on Sunday, or we switch it up. On Sunday, we do our long bike rides. And oftentimes we take our bikes out to the country and then we ride for 30 miles. So these are our long workouts at the moment. So that's what my week actually pretty much looks like all the time.
Oh, nice. That's, I loved it. I loved it. It's, of course, it might sound for someone that, oh, I never have so much time, but it's a lifestyle. And like I said, that with those all, I loved all elements. What if you think that what you included, like as obviously you are a coach, it's you probably enjoy doing it, but that you have some kind of mobility, taking care of your body, some form of resistance training, and then you have your cardio, what you enjoy the most, if it's a hike or biking, whatever you enjoy. So those are the elements what are so crucial, and that even you can't have all of them, then do them a little bit less, but those are
Oh, I
amazing things.
forgot to mention on Monday and on Wednesdays, I also walk. I
Oh,
do Monday a
nice.
3 mile walk, and on Wednesday I do a 4 mile walk.
Oh,
So
nice.
as fast as
Yeah.
humanly possible.
Yeah. No, that's even better. Even better. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So,
it's worth every, when you hear what I do, it doesn't matter, guys. But over 40 years, I've learned so many things that I can
mm,
apply, and you can do too. And the workouts don't have to be super long. Don't think
mm,
45 minutes or an hour. If you're doing this, you can do 20, 30 minutes. It adds
mhm.
up
Yeah.
over time. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And it's something what I personally had to overcome, like that good workout have to be an hour or 1.5, or it's not even worth of it to start something with less 20 minutes. And now I'm like that. It's very rare that I get, especially strength training, that I work out for a full hour. It's at most 45 minutes, and
yeah.
more often than not, it's like 30 minutes, or it's just doing what is the bare minimum I know I need to be doing. So, Heike, thank you so much for sharing your experience and insights today. I think one of the most important messages from this conversation is that getting older doesn't mean getting weaker or less capable in many ways. It's actually an opportunity to train smarter and take better care of our bodies. So strength, mobility, and consistency become even more important as we age. And it's encouraging to see more women realizing that they can stay strong and active well into their 50s, 60s, and beyond. So, if people want to learn more about your work or connect with you, where they can find you, and I know you just you have a brand new or relatively new book, so where people can find you.
So you can find me anywhere on social media. Just Google my name, Heike Yates, HeikeYates. And you can find anything about my programs, Pursue Your Spark, my what I do. You can find my podcast also called Pursue Your Spark. And you can buy my book, Pursue Your Spark, anywhere where books are sold. And my book is in softcover. As an ebook and also an audiobook. So you can take me on a walk with you. And
Nice.
yeah, please reach out to me because I'm literally hanging out everywhere. These days, I'm mostly on Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube.
Nice. I will put all those links to your show notes, so you can check Heike's book website and social media channels from show notes. For everyone who listens, if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who might benefit from it. And thank you, as always, for listening. And see you in the next episode.
Hold up, friend. Do you love FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast.